Hello? Is anyone present? Hello? Hello. Welcome back to another CreamCatCorner stream. We are back with more Dead Cells. Here's something to update to you guys about Dead Cells. So, in the time between the last stream and this stream, I did play a little bit, more like a lot, of Dead Cells, and I've managed to get far, so much so that I did go and fight the king's right hand. But that is the only time I've managed to win. No, not win. That far. I've managed to get it that far. Hello, Santa, and hello, Vigor. How are you? Welcome back. Most probably that is a fluke. I'm not sure I've got the hang of it just yet, but I did unlock a lot of weapons, and I don't know, maybe this time we will get some progress. Eh, we'll just have to see. By the way, how are you guys, Santa? You play Hollow Knight lately, Vigor? Nice. Are you playing it blind, or are you have you played it before? You try Pantheon 5. Dang. Whoa. Pantheon 5. Isn't that like the hardest, where you have to fight every single of the previous Pantheon? Yo. I can't I can't even do that. Hollow Knight for me is it's okay, but I do get frustrated sometimes. You alright, Santa? Nice. You're playing RuneScape while watching some stream. Nice. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And hope you can make some progress in RuneScape. I've never played RuneScape before. Okay, the crown key. The thing about crown key is that I did manage to get into a place where I need to get the crown key, but I left it here. I feel so stupid. Whatever. Ooh, crowbar 1 plus. Okay. Is Pantheon 5 is every single boss from the previous Pantheon? Yes, and all have their ascended arenas, while 2 bosses are replaced with harder variants. 2 bosses, is it the Hollow Knight and the Radiant? I don't remember. I did watch a few speedrunner play the Pantheon 5, speedrun of Pantheon 5, but I don't remember much. It's been a while since I saw a speedrun of that game. You have gone up to like the 30th boss. There are 42 or 43 of them. Oof. You used to play RuneScape back in 2003. Oh, that's far back. Okay. Just recently went and started new account for the lols. No, the 2 are Mantis Lord replaced with the Sisters of Battle. Oh, right. I remember that. Wing Nos. Right. Man, my memory is my memory is so whack. Okay, I've tried the shield before, and I am not very good at it. RuneScape is ancient. You feel old. Hey, no worries. We all have that one comfort game that we used to play as a kid, and then, sometimes we like to revisit some games, right? I know I have a game at that time period that I used to play a lot. You always had Mark of the most, but now Wingmoss Wing Nosk is your most hated boss, Wigger. Is Markov the one with the shield? I feel like Markov is doable, but yeah, Nosk, Wing Nosk is tough, I have to say. I even had problem with normal Nosk. Oh, Pantheon 5 has no floor? Yo, okay. Yeah, that makes it harder then. Oh right, I remember it's all spikes down there, right? Oh god. Oh god, okay. Merry Christmas, bitches. The bells are coming to hurt you. Whoop. It's not spikes, it's just no floor like a cliff, nothingness. Is it not spikes? Yo, I don't remember much. Oh, right, it is Pantheon 5, right? Man, it's been a while since I watched that game. I played it, but I've never tried the Pantheon, the Dreamland. I don't remember. The Dreamland, I've never tried that in my stream. Man, I've struggled the Colosseum of Fool, the third Colosseum. Let alone I can't even imagine fighting bosses, boss rush mode. God, you must be very good at the game, huh? Bigger. Okay, let's get brutality. Brutality is also always good. Also, I unlock the ice bomb. Wait, I should actually show you guys this. Wait, no. Huh. Okay, I did manage to unlock the wall climbing rune. Okay, that. Oh, wait. That is a bad weapon. I don't like to use that weapon. Come on. Whoa. Yo. Okay. Nice. The crowbar is very good as far as I remember, but I do like using the frost blast. Yo. Okay, that's quite fast for me. Pantheon 5 is a fun challenge, except Wing Nos and the annoying boss that is random with all its attack. Yeah, I can imagine why. Assassin's Dagger, yes! Okay, Assassin's Dagger, when you combine it with the Frostbus, is very strong. So I'm gonna take this and then try and get the Frost Blast then. Victims freeze nearby enemies when they die. Yeah, sure. I am gonna take this as an insurance. Yeah, I have this. We are so close to unlocking the Health Plus 4. Okay, I've unlocked so many things. Sacrifice 39% of your maximum health to recover 2% of your HP per melee attack. This sounds good. Man, I have a lot of stuff that I need to unlock. But for now, we can do this. Let me tell you the name of the annoying boss. Ooh, what is it? I can upgrade to plus plus, which is good. Plus plus is good. Ooh, look at the critical. 1060. Nice. Okay, I also realized because of the achievement in this game that Yigdar Orus Leox is, if you take the abbreviation of each capitalization, it spells YOLO. Why did I not connect in my brain? Because even the description says, saves you one time if you die prematurely while not cursed. I feel so, so stupid for not realizing that. Yeah, I usually take this, YOLO, and then I'll take the No Mercy. No Mercy is very good, especially with small mobs of enemies. It allows you to execute enemies much, much quicker. Yeah, I am that slow. I have to take the YOLO first because if I take the other one first, I am locked from picking that. Not sure how it works, but that's the rule in this game, I suppose. Okay, toxic sewers. Man, that's a lot of stuff in this game that I think I barely scratch the surface. Whoops. Oh god. Ooh. I I fight with frozen grenades. Nice. Nice. Oof. Nice. If I say nice. Oh come on. The wall climb is both a blessing and a curse. Oops. I am the wrong direction? Ooh. Nice. The damage. I love the sound. The bells. This costume is the best in the in the game IMO. That guy I can talk to, but I choose not to. Ooh, killing. Whoop. Okay. Okay. I need to be careful here. Whoa. Okay, that's is pointless. I'm okay. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. No. Woo. Nice. Okay. The reason I was so careful there is because um if you see there's a skull icon right in the bottom right, bottom left, bottom right. Wait, is it bottom right? Yeah, bottom right. I need to get 60 in order for me to get a good weapon bonuses. So I am trying to get as oh okay, already the end. It's only been 4 minutes. Okay, let me see if I can move somewhere else. The annoying boss is the invincible, fearless, sensual, mysterious, enchanting, vigorous, diligent, overwhelming, gorgeous, passionate, terrifying, beautiful, powerful Grey Prince Zod. Of course, he's annoying. With that many titles, you would expect him to be extra annoying. Whoa! Oh, oh god. Okay, this. Oh right, the lake hugger. One of my favorite companion I had in the game is lake hugger. I managed to get one in legendary, and it was so good. If you let him fight alongside of you, it will evolve into an adult lake hugger, and it deals so much damage to enemies. But this one is 5 plus. 5 plus is could have been better actually. But I try not to buy this point. Okay, let me see. There's a scroll down there. He has all those titles and he is none of them. Well, he is. Okay, I'm trying to choose one of the uh description and titles. Uh he is overwhelmed. He is an overwhelming character in Hollow Knight. Overwhelming annoying. Overwhelmingly annoying. Grumpy, stupid idiot. Well, you are fighting his dream version, right? That is not him IRL. Okay, let me see. Where should I go? I can go down and got those roll. I regret. I regret. Okay, come on. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I am stupid. I regret everything. I regret everything. I want to. I want to go. I want to go. I regret everything. And I didn't get any of the bonuses. God dang it. Wait. Oh, it's already. Oh, oh no. The. Oh no. Okay. Oops. Okay, it's okay. We got a +4, which is good. And I want to work on my vampirism. Because I feel like that is going to be useful in the long run. Okay, let me see. So the one thing about roguelike is that sometimes you get a good setup and sometimes you get a bad setup. And a good player is able to make the most out of every kind of situation. I am not one of them. I am, bear in mind, I am still learning the game. Okay, the ancient sewers. I remember that this place have some very aggressive mushroom. Not just mushroom. This. Aha. Ay. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Ow. Oh my god. Cowards. How dare you? Oh, come on. The scroll is on the other side. Of course it is. No. Yo, what is wrong with me? Hello? You just realized you're playing as Santa. I play home. I paid homage to your name, Santa. I just. I did say that this is my favorite costume, right? I did. Well, glad you managed to get the reference then. Okay. Okay. This is one of those annoying. No. What is this? I am so dead. I am so dead. You were so focused on RuneScape? Yo! How did that hit me? What is this game? That's okay, Santa. That's okay. Am I even going the right way? No, I'm not. Okay. Oh no. Oh god, no! Okay. Okay. Vigor, you told me that one of your friends have made a custom version of Hollow Knight. Uh, which Hollow Knight is Hollow Knight, but extra charms, bosses, and lore. Yes, I did remember that. That was a while back, right? You are currently in PvP area, so you gotta be careful. Ooh, no worries, Santa. I know how sometimes you need to focus on certain things. That's okay, I understand. Especially PvP. Oh my no. Been the last PvP I've played is like Overwatch and I am very bad at it. Hence, I stopped playing PvP. Oh no, King Scepter. King Scepter is very bad. I hate King Scepter. Okay, nice. Okay, there's a secret. Secret? No. No secrets. Oh no, you made me lose all of my progress. You monster. Ah, no. Okay, this one is actually good. The card. Okay. How many coins? 6,000. Oh no. Okay. Bigger. He added more charms, bosses, lore, and he made his own pantheon. Yo! And the last pantheon is Pantheon 6, so it has like 53 bosses instead of. Wait. How you like to be more difficult? You don't like PvP either, Santa? But best money makers are in PvP areas, so you gotta risk it. Yeah, I understand. Wait, money makers? Uh, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, okay. Fighting more bosses it makes it more fun and challenging. Ah, I see. That's understandable, Vigor. So that is what you meant by Pantheon 6. But 53 bosses is a lot. I don't think I can manage even the Pantheon 5, let alone another additional Pantheon 6. Man, I remember I used to struggle in Hollow Knight. In Colosseum of Fool, you got so far. Farming for in-game gold. Oh. I am so sorry about that, Santa. I don't know much about the lingo of PvP. Sorry. But yeah, I do see where the dev would encourage people to play PvP. I mean, last time for them to develop a PvE. Man, I used to be excited for um sorry, not Hollow Knight, Overwatch PvE. And as time goes by, I don't feel so excited for it anymore. Okay, this is the mummy place. You know what? You know what? Fine, let's go. Oh no, this is the wrong way. Okay. Okay, I don't know what to use the dilapidated arboreum key, whatever it is called. Okay, that room This room has a baseball bat, which is good. Baseball bat is also good. Oh god. No more bonuses. No more. Sure. Oof, nice. I love the bonking sound of the baseball bat. Gives me joy. Gives me... Oof. Oof. Nice. Oof. Oof. The sound is so nice. Okay, let me see. Oof. Yes. Hello, Karikumi. Fox X VT. Whoa, VT, are you a VTuber? Hello, hello and welcome. We are playing Dead Cells. Uh oh, you are a VTuber. Nice. Man, I always you can I can call you Cat or Katie or Kate. Okay, okay, Cat. Nice. Man, I always interested in VTubers. They the way they set up stream is always interesting. I ooh, I might have to check you later then. I'm guessing your VTuber is a fox. You speedrun this game? Yo. Oh, then you might be disappointed in this stream then. I am not very good at this game yet. I did this is like my fourth session. Second, third, I mean third in live streaming and another session I did off stream. You beat the game from fresh file in 23 minutes. 13 minutes. Yo, what? Okay. 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 No pressure. Yo. Well, you must know this game like at the back of your hand, right? Yo, 13 minutes from fresh file. Wow. Uh, wow. I don't have I don't have words for that except for wow. No? Oh? You know nothing? Well, cat, how can you know nothing except for you managed to beat the game in 13 minutes? How? If you didn't know anything, how can you know how to do a glitch on a previous patch and how to find some exits? Oh, I see. But still, 13 minutes. Oof. I can what? Can skip the hand of the king fight? Okay. I didn't know that. That boss fight kicked my ass the last time I played this game. Off stream, that is. Yeah, like Vigor said, tell us your secret. And that is basically all of your content for speedrunning. Oh. patch 2.4. That is a very, very nice secret. Well, I have to check your Twitch then. Seems like seems like a very nice speedrun of this game. I have to look forward to it. Lightspeed is broken. You can provide my speedrun. Your speedrun. Ooh. Okay, but I have to look into your channel then. Okay, I'll look into it. Do you have any YouTube channel that I can look to your VODs or anything like that? Hey, congratulations, Cat. You got a follow on Twitch. Nice. Uh, also, Vigor, you want once you said about glitches, something happened to you yesterday that made you so mad. Ooh. And what happened to you then? Cat, you have a YouTube channel, but you don't have anything on it yet. That's understandable. That's understandable. That's okay. I'll check you later then. Let me try and do this. I am able to. Um, yeah, I just follow you. If not, I will forget. Trust me, I will forget my head if it's not screwed on my body. Um, how, how, how? Wait, sorry. No. Oh my God. I am so sorry. Sorry, Vigor. No. How? Okay, wait. I am so bad at streaming, y'all. I am so sorry. Um, how do I untime out? Oh man. I am so sorry, Vigor. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. First of all, I need to apologize to Vigor. I am so sorry for timing you out for 600 seconds. I'm so sorry for that. And second of all, thank you, Kat, for following the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I will look forward into your highlights. 13 minutes and 3 seconds. A speed run that I will never ever achieve unless I dedicate myself with this specific game. Oh my God. I feel so bad for Vigor. Man. Okay, wait, wait. Oh my God. Okay. Man, the people watching this part is is gonna see just how bad I'm fucked up. My chat. How do I? Oh man. Oh man. How long is the timeout? From what it says here, it says 600 seconds. I am so sorry. I hope you don't stay mad at me, Vigor. You okay? Uh, you also speedrun games like Celeste and Ahead in Time. Oh, Ahead in Time. That is also one of the game that I wanted to play. Maybe sometime soon. I'm not sure yet. But Celeste, I hear so many um uh Tough about it. Mainly, it's hard as F. You have a 57-minute any percent, and you are learning all time pieces in ahead in time. Ah, I see. Yeah, Celeste is very hard, not just for speedrun, but also for playing. I don't know how some people can manage to speedrun that game. Mainly, I look at the gameplay and I look at a few reviewers, and then I just okay, that game is too hard. That game is too hard, and I don't want to. Maybe in the future, but not right now. You have a 41-minute, 38-second in any percent, and you are 48 in all hearts in in Celeste with 1 hour and 28-minute 12 second. Yo, I can promise you, if I play Celeste, I would most definitely took like what 10 times longer than that. Oh man, how long did it take you to master that kind of route? You are a big speedrunner. Whoa. Yeah. All hearts is not easy. Oof, I would guess. Yeah. Big big shout out to all the speedrunners. They they make the game looks easy, but there's a lot of planning and a lot of practicing go behind that. Oof, very difficult. The only speedrunner that I've watched regularly is trying to remember their name. Biscuit Biscuit 047 for Kingdom Hearts 2. Even now he is not that active in speedrunning and mostly do a variety of games. You had a world record in Valorant speedrun. Wait, Valorant? Isn't that PvP game? World record for what? Speedrunning. I've never played Valorant, but yeah, congratulations. A world record. A world record for Spike Diffusal tutorial. Oh, okay. But still, a world record is a world record, huh? Man, I still feel bad for Vigor. Oh no. I feel so bad for him. Oh god, okay. You know that feeling when you did something bad and it will haunt you forever. You speedran a rhythm game took you 2 hours. Ooh, what kind of rhythm game do you have? Do you play? Hello, Unbeatific. Hello. Hello, and welcome. We were playing Dead Cells, but now we are chatting with Catty Kume. Cat, how are you? I'm okay. I am good. Thank you for asking. But how about you, Unbeatific? Now we are just we are having a temporary just chatting, I guess. Because I know if I play the game, I'm not gonna focus on the chat much. You play all rhythm games, but the one you speedrun was Rhythm Heaven Fever. Ooh. You're good? Nice. Ambitific? Nice. Ooh. Yeah, speaking of rhythm game, I heard about the recent one called Hi-Fi Rush, right? And so far from the little gameplay that I saw, it looks so much fun. It looks like definitely my type of games. That game reminds me of the PS2 game era. Oh man. And how on, for example, like Cartoon Networks, right? You have those cartoons. I'm trying to remember what is the name with the big truck. Yeah, the art style reminds me of that. But I don't think my PC is able to run that. My PC is a potato, but I hope I can play it one day. But for now, we just have to wait for it, I guess. By the way, The Hat in Time is your favorite game and Celeste is your second favorite. Ooh, nice. The Hat in Time. Um, you did you did get all of the DLC, I guess. Man, I remember watching a little bit of gameplay for Hat in Time, and it looks so cute. The head girl is so cute. And the Yakuza too. Mafia. Is it Yakuza or Mafia? I forgot. Crypt of the Necrodancer. I've heard about that game. I've never played it. In fact, the reason why I started streaming is because there's a lot of games that I haven't played, actually. And most of the game that I did play is mostly on the PS2. Crypt was fun for like 6 minutes when you played it, Cat. Oof. Is it that hard? Or it's just not your cup of tea? Sly Cooper. I haven't. Okay. Okay, welcome back, Bigger. I feel so bad for timing you out. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I tried to follow Cat and then I tried to minimize the window and then I misclick the timeout button on your name. I am so sorry. I hope you can forgive me. Ah, Sly Cooper. Whew. You were listening to song. Oof, I'm glad. Uh, guess it's not exactly like other rhythm games. I see. In attempts to follow you, I time out Vigor. Yes, cat. Accidentally. Okay, it's not intentionally, but yes, that is what happened. I am so sorry. Okay. And I don't know how to time out, untime out the people that I time out. And why is it 600 second? I never set it to be like, how does your most recent VOD have 78 views? Yo, that is a lot. So, were you trying to say something? I think you were trying to tell me you found a glitch that make you so mad, if I remember correctly. That's okay. Yo, if I if my VOD got like what 78 views on Twitch, I would be so hyped too. Yeah, tell us, Vigor. Yeah, the reason why I started streaming is because there's a lot of games that I haven't played, and one of my all-time games that I've played a lot is Kingdom Hearts 2. Funny enough, I've never played Kingdom Hearts 1. What pronouns? I use he, him, or they. Um, they, him is interchangeable. So, yeah, that is my pronouns. Everyone feel free to join in the chat and tell us your pronouns so that I won't mispronounce any of y'all pronouns. Otherwise, I would most probably default to they, them. But that is also misgendering people. Eh. Um, yeah, the game that I played the most when I was a kid is Kingdom Hearts 2, and then a bunch of when I was very, very little, I used to play a lot of Spyro Year of the Dragon. Man, I should play that game, huh? Spyro Year of the Dragon. I could beat that game in one sitting. You use she, her, but you have just discovered that you are in fact not transgender. You are either gender fluid or a femboy. Ah, I see. So you would you prefer to use she, her than cat? Okay. So yesterday when you were recording yourself playing the Pantheon 5 to show it to a friend, and apparently when you enter God Tamer fight it glitches and she became invisible. No! So you couldn't see her. But you won. Okay, you won. But then Hornet Sentinel, it glitched and a Hornet became invincible and you lost. Oof. Oof. Okay, imagine. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that sucks, Vigor. Okay. Glitches like that where you are at the mercy of the glitch is yeah, it's difficult. So you would prefer to use she, her still cat. Okay, I see. That's good. That's good. At least you know which pronouns to use. So that's good. Okay. You wouldn't like absolute radiance blind. No. The light is too blinding. It makes my eye blind. Yo. You have never gone up to absolute radiance. Oof. Okay. Apparently, I got too distracted with the chat. I should be playing the game. Okay, yeah, okay, where was I? Um, brutality. Okay. Oh no, okay, wait. You know what? Let's go. Getting to broken vessels sucks without dash. Oof. You mean Crystal Dash? Is it possible to get to broken vessels without Crystal Dash? I thought that is one of the requirements because you have to go through a chasm of spikes, right? Yeah. You have to get Claw and Crystal Dash without Dash. Oh, oh, you mean is it Mothwing Cloak? Or am I mistaking it? No, Mothwing Cloak is the one that double jumps. Eh. I forgot about Hollow Knight. It is Mothwing Cloak? The one that allows you to dash? Monarch Wing is the double jump. Oh my god. Okay. So I was right in the first place and then I doubted myself. Hmm. Typical. Okay, let's put ourselves into vampirism. Oh no. The weapon is so not worth it to upgrade. And then collector was not easy. Had to do dashless UGA. Queen's Garden something something. What is QGA? Oh, oh, you okay, that is speedrunner's talk. I see. No wonder I don't understand the lingo. Queen's Garden acid skip. Hmm. Oh, right, right. I remember I remember watching a speedrunner that does that. You have to very very precise on your crystal dash. Yo, how did people do that? I tried it once and oh, oof. But without dash it is a nightmare. Okay. Where? Oh god. Uh no. Oh my god. Okay, let me see if I can do something here and get some good weapon. Oh, come on. Ooh, amethyst. Nightmare King Grim is Vigor's favorite boss of all, and Cat is Markoth. You were kidding, okay. Uh, Wingnuts is baby? Wait, you mean Cat? You don't struggle with Nosk? Wingnos is Vengeful King. Vengefly King, I see. You don't struggle with Nosk? I'm trying to remember. Did I struggle with Nosk or not? No, I did. I did struggle with Nosk. But then again, I am talking to a speedrunner here. Of course, you don't struggle. You always fail to avoid his Nosk-like attack where he spreads blob and his weird hitbox. Ah. Yo, cat. Pantheon 5 is pretty easy. Well, a little fact about me. I struggle in Colosseum of Fool 3. That shows how much I struggle with that game. Have I tried not getting hit? What is my build in that game? Um, okay, let me remember. I do remember I have the long nail attached. Um, I I don't know. Sometimes I flip-flop between a spell build and a nail build, depending on which one. I do remember that I had success with quick focus because it allows me to heal quickly. Quick slash, sharp shadow, mark of pride, and strength. That, that is something someone who doesn't understand the power of spells would use. You're right. I barely scratch the surface of Hollow Knight. There's a lot of charms, and I know that if you combine certain charms, you get a certain effects. I remember that if you combine the Flukmarm charm with Defender's Crest, you got a giant bug, right? Basically, your spells becomes a shotgun. Yeah, spells is the most broken the entire game. I love when speedrunners use the 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 basically the shotgun equivalent of a spell. You use Shaman's Long Nail, Strength, and Quick Slash. Nice. Ooh, a crowbar. Should I take the crowbar? Crowbar is good, huh? Much better than our baseball bat. Is it not like a shotgun? Because if you use the Flukmarm charm with the defender's crest, the Flukmarm becomes a huge projectiles, right? But it travels so short, it basically becomes a shotgun range, right? Yeah, I do remember that build, but I never get used to the spells in that game. Not literal shotgun cat. Man, I'm sure some people have modded using guns in Hollow Knight, right? Someone must have. You played it before? You mean that mod exists? Yo. Man, the modding community is went above and beyond sometimes. Okay, let me get the tactics one. What? How can I miss that? I should. Ooh, I do remember this. Man, that is so well hidden that I actually tried to do this and then simply do this, and then I got the gardener's key. That is well hidden. Nice. Hey. Okay, let's do this correctly. Oh, come on. Okay, okay, okay. Another scroll of power, nice. I can skip having to get the Vine Rune. Wait, what? Saves a bit of a time. You love randomize it in Hollow Knight. Yo. Whoa, what is... Oh, this is... Okay. I don't even need the Gardener's Key. Eh. But it's level 2, it's bad. But if I don't take it, I'm gonna regret it. So I'm just gonna take that. Oh. You need to stop attacking. I am gonna die. What is wrong with me? Oh no. The egg? Oh no. I am so sorry, cat. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Oh man, 8 second. Oof. Okay, I should focus on vampirism because that sounds fun. Crowbar, crowbar 4 plus. Plus. Could I do the 4 plus plus? Imagine not being here sooner. I know. I'm so disappointed in myself. Ah, 8 second. What the fuck is vampirism? I think it's one of those powers similar to the YOLO and the I don't know. That's why I wanted to try and unlock it. You played, yeah, patch 2.4, right? It's not a mutation? Is it? Oh, this one is mutation. Then what is this? Um, I'm not even sure. Maybe it's one of those, oh, right, one of those special left trigger and right trigger abilities. For 10 seconds, recover 2% of your HP per melee attack and a speed boost for 10 seconds. That is strong. I'm not. Yeah, for a speedrunner, this is very strong. I assume 10 seconds you can deal a lot of damage and recover a lot of health too. Okay, I'm just gonna upgrade the crowbar. Eh, why not? Oh no, it's the plus, the death multiplier. No. Okay, what is this? Hello? A bank? What is this? Please, no bank. Okay, this is my first time in this. See, I even got an achievement, reach the bank for the first time. I I don't so bored. I really should have become an artist and oh, a customer. It's been so long since the last. Never mind. Welcome to our great bank. You can trust your precious belongings to us. We'll take care. We'll take good care of them. Is this similar to Millicent in Hollow Knight? Bank is super terribly hard. Oh no. I would not advise doing so right now though. There seems to be a minor security breach in the vaults. But assured that it's nothing to be concerned about. But if you want to take a look around and perhaps help out with a security breach, be my guest. Uh-oh. The first accreditation level in the bank. I am gonna die. Borrow 2,000. No other teleporters. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Am I gonna die? I'm gonna die. Well, it was nice. Wait, what? Green pass? Wait, you can go up and you can go down? Yeah, you can only go down. Okay. Um, okay. Uh-oh. Ah! Okay. Oh! Okay, let, let's hope that I didn't mess things up. At this time, I really wish I had the... what do you call? The... God dang it, what's the name? Oof! Yo! Stop teleporting! It's rude! Oh no, even the rats are wrong. I wish I have the Frost Blast. Frost Blast would make this at least tolerable. Terraria speedrunning is crazy. Yo. Okay, goodbye, Vigor. Santa Terraria speedrunning is crazy. Oh my god. Okay. You also speedrun Portal, Tattletale, Terraria, Stardew Valley, Hollow Knight. Yo, Cat, you are a speedrunner god. How? There is so many games. Yeah, you speedrun so many games. Oh, you speedrun Ori too. Oh, okay. I've played Ori, the first Ori, but I haven't had the chance to play Ori 2 yet. Maybe sometime in the future. Okay, I played Terraria on stream before, and to be honest, I got so lost and I don't know what the heck am I supposed to do in that game that I basically give up. You have 48 minutes in Ori 2. Cat. You should definitely create that YouTube channel. Seriously, girl, that is very quick. How? People would watch. Seriously, Cat, people would watch. People who speed run, not a good run. Well, it's better than mine. I presume. I died like what? A million times in Ori, the first Ori. I would imagine Ori 2 would be much more difficult than the first one. Not a good run. Well, you got 48 minutes. People would watch. Trust me, Cat. At least I would. You have only done Ori 1 randomizers because there's a randomizer? Yo, that is Okay, you are giving me a good idea. Should look into the randomizer because you thought the normal game was a little meh. Man. Whoa, okay. I remember I died multiple times in the final level in the lava section. Oh god, I died so many times in that area when I first played the game. I got chills when I reminded of that. You also started a Legend of Zelda. Uh, I'm trying to remember what is OOT. Ocarina of Time, and what is MM? Uh, uh, okay. When it comes to Nintendo games, I didn't have much experience with it, so forgive my ignorance. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Okay, okay. In fact, I've never played any of the Zelda game. I haven't played anything from Nintendo. There is one game that I've wanted to play. It's a horror game called Eternal Darkness. Yeah, that game looks so rad that I didn't have the time to play it yet. Banjo-Kazooie is fun. Uh, man, that's a lot of game I missed out, huh? I've never played Banjo-Kazooie too. Oh man, but it's okay. We have a lot of time to play all this game. Also, Kat, are you getting the Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game? I know most Zelda fan are a little bit on the fence because of the high price, but some are stoked about the game. You did some meme speedruns like the one you did yesterday of the game called Sinister Squidward. What is that the game title? Sinister Squidward? $70 is annoying. Yes. Oh my god. I mean, I I understand with the inflation going on in the world. I understand why they have to increase their prices, but $70 is a bit too high. Yikes. Sinister Squidward sounds funny. Yo, you are giving me so many ideas for games, huh, Cat? Oh, it's not a funny game. It's a horror game. Oh no. Well, it's good. It's on itch.io. Okay. I have to look into it then. It's a horror game but funny. Ah, that kind of game. Okay, okay. Okay, let me put it in my notes. Games to play. Sinister Squidward. Even the name is giving me a giggle. Squidward. Yo, thanks for the recommendation there, Cat. Okay. But no spoilers. I want to experience it myself. Okay, this game. I got so carried away sometimes. Oh god. Oh god, this guy. Ah, no! Ooh, the spiky dude is bad. Spiky dude is bad. Okay, there's something up there that I should explore before I went down here. Because it looks like there's a room with a chest up here. It might... Oh, I don't want a cursed chest. Bye bye. Nice. Okay, okay. What? How did that hit me? What? What? Okay, run. Rip. Ripperoonie. I am gonna die. I am gonna die. Oof. I'm so dead. Oof. So Dead Cells speedrun is basically going through the first level in about a minute, get Balanced Blade or Twin Blade, go through second level fast, unlock Assault Shield for more speed, go through third, fourth, fifth, and seventh area fast, unlock Light Speed, and do the 8th level fast. Oh, well, in order to do that, you have to have a certain level of skills in the game, right? You tried to warn me about the bank. You're right, you're right. But at least I know now not to go to the bank. I'm not good at the game. In order to skip the hand of the king, you need light speed. I don't think I've unlocked light speed yet. Well, there's twin dagger, throwable object, cleaver. Okay, by the way, how do you use the shield? I mean, the last time I've tried using the shield, I'm not very good at the shield. Like that. Oh, I must be very bad at the game. To not be able to use the shield correctly. No, I didn't, and you are surprised considering I unlocked the blueprint when you kill the timekeeper for the first time. Okay. I I managed to do that in one single run, and it took me like a very long time because I have to play it very carefully and not willy-nilly because I know if I didn't focus for a split second, I would get hit by the enemy. But yeah, I struggled so much in the clock tower. I didn't know that the light speed is very OP. I should have a look there, huh? Oh, I didn't know that it parry. Sorry, deflect. Okay, okay. I should try use different set of weapons, huh? Okay, okay. The shield is good. You can't play careful in a speed run. Yeah, you're right. You have so much you have beaten the game. You have never gotten a boss cell before. What is a boss cell? You never take the shield over the bow because the bow lets you skip the vine rune. Yo, is there a okay? Is there a secret technique that I didn't know? Of course there is, right? So here's the bow. It raises difficulty. Okay, okay. Hmm. I don't think I've unlocked a boss cell. But then again, I don't know what is a boss cell. Okay. Quick bow. Quick bow is ice grenade is not that good because of its long cooldown. Ruby amulet not that good either. But quick bow allows us to deal damage at a distance. So have I beaten the hand of the king before? I haven't. I've managed to reach him once, literally once, and I managed to defeat sorry, not defeat, to bring his HP down to a quarter. A quarter of his HP left, and then I died because I ran out of juice. But at that run, I have like what, the Frost Blast and the Lake Hugger and the cards, something something, the cards that allows me to deal I'm trying to remember, poison, poison attack on my melee weapon. So basically I am able to dish out a lot of damage to the boss, but not enough damage because the hand of the king summons elite enemies, right? Yeah, the elite enemies are a little bit of an annoyance, but eh, I'm not good enough at the game to no damage that area, so I took a lot of damage. And the way that he pushes me into the spike pit, that is more annoying. I died multiple times in that pit. Not multiple times, I got thrown into the pit multiple times. When you kill him, he drops the boss cell. Skipping past him doesn't. Ah, I see. I didn't know that you can skip a certain boss in this game. This one, light speed. Dash forward and inflicts 100 damage to the enemy on the way. Activate again to dash back. Okay, you're right, cat. That is a very strong move. Dash forward and inflicts 100 damage. But I've already put put cells in the vampirism, I might as well try to get as um much of it done. There's also a glitch called unlink hyperspeed. Ooh, what does it do? Not good in any other way. Also, you can't do it unless you are on 2.4. Ah, I see. The secret patch. That's okay. I'm not mechanically gifted in games. Well, yeah, I'm not mechanically gifted. My reaction time is so slow. Man, unlink hyperspeed is how you skip the hand of the king. I see, I see. Man, you have a lot of info regarding this, huh? Whoa. You are a treasure trove of information, cat. Oh, come on. Yeah, in order to do a speed run, you need some sort of knowledge about the game. But yeah, I salute you for having such in-depth knowledge about this game. I know I don't have that kind of knowledge, but hopefully one day I am good enough at the game to do it. Okay. Uh, no, I'm not gonna do anything now. Even this, Yigdar Orus Leox. My brain simply skipped the description. I read the description, but it didn't cross my mind that this mutation is basically YOLO. I'm better at the game than you, cat. You must be joking. Come on. Speedrunning does nothing. It does. It allows you to finish the game quicker. Maybe we both have some sort of um strength in this game. Okay, I want this YOLO. And then, okay, by the way, which mutation do you usually use? I'm guessing the patch 2.4 is not that different compared to this. I usually choose the YOLO one and then the No Mercy one, and then I choose the combo one. Not YOLO, yeah, because you're a speedrunner. I'm guessing you would choose No Mercy, right? Man, having No Mercy. YOLO is just bad? Is it? It saves me multiple times. You have you have never unlocked No Mercy. Oh. For me, No Mercy allows me to defeat the what that's called on the eyeball one. I don't remember which what is your name, but the eyeball boss, I've definitely had to thank the No Mercy mutation because that is a very annoying boss because it slingshots all across the room. And the tentacles is so fast at the last health bar. Thankfully, I had the Frost Blast. Eyeballs is easy. It steals a slot from other things. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Once you use YOLO, You don't get that slot again. Usually go for vengeance first. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've used vengeance before. It is very good. Uh-huh. But I know I will never take blind faith and counter attack because I didn't use much of shield to begin with. And these two require a shield because Paris is specific to shield, right? I might be wrong, but usually go for vengeance first. Okay. I know when I first started playing the game, I used a lot of this. Frenzy. Frenzy is like a vampirism, I guess. Oh! Okay. Man, when I play this game off stream, I managed to get like what 60 kill without being hit. But in order for me to do that, I basically have to focus, and it's quite difficult for me to do that. To do that on stream. Nice. Oof. Okay. Okay, so far so good. You usually do vengeance, combo, and either blind faith, instinct, or support. Ooh. Oh right, because you use the assault shield. Right, right. Okay. Oh. Oof. Talk about lucky. Woo. Okay, where am I going? Okay, I need to go down. Down and to the right. No? No! Okay, that is the result of me not focusing. Oopsie. Wow, wow. Speed running is always YOLO, vengeance, and support. Assault shield sucks. Just fast. I see. It sucks, but it allows you to do things fast. I think that's a trade-off, right? Okay, take the scroll. Wow, at this level of the game, and I only got second scroll. Okay, wow, okay. So the only way for me to get any sort of bonus is to just not get hit anymore, which is bad. Oh no, I don't want ancient sewer. Okay. If you cancel the animation for bashing with the shield, you can go fast. Oh. You speedrun with keyboard. Yeah, okay. I can't with my keyboard. I don't know. It's my fingers are so I got fat fingers. Basically. My fingers are so wide and sometimes that's why I don't play a lot of FPS game. Basically, I like aiming with the mouse. I've played a lot of House of the Dead, and I love playing House of the Dead because it is an on-rail shooter, and you can simply shoot with the mouse. But the second you have to control your character's movement, that is basically where I draw the line, where I cannot. My fingers are not made for keyboard game. Did I ever tell you guys that I use back in the day when I played Overwatch, I had a PlayStation Move controller attached to my PC, and I basically use that as a movement controller on my left hand, and then use the mouse to shoot. Man, what a wild times. You still play Overwatch. Ooh, nice. The last time I played Overwatch is the Halloween event. And yeah, that's the only time I've played in Overwatch 2. You're a plat in Widowmaker? Nice. Yo, plat Widowmaker. I've never Yeah, I am too I know I suck at the game, so I didn't dare to play comp. So the most thing that I've played in that game is quick play. Video Maker Life sucks, but it's also amazing. Yeah, I mean, okay. I know I am going a lot off tangent in this stream, but I don't know, I like talking. Yeah, in Overwatch, I feel like um the only heroes that should be able to one-shot people is Widowmaker because she is basically a sniper, right? Um, but Sojin, oh man, Sojin, Sojin is something. She has too much of a mobility for someone that has one-shot capability. If you got called a cheater, it is the best feeling. However, it is so easy to blame a Widowmaker. Okay, as a Symmetra player, I I had I had some problem with Widowmaker before. I got my ass clapped so many times with Widowmaker. Sojourn got nerfed, yes, you're right, but will never be balanced. Well, now that Mercy got her basically I call it a buff, but most Mercy player calls it a nerf. But yeah, with the recent change to Mercy, she won't um she won't be able to damage boost Sojourn as much. I don't know. Him. Ha. Man, I wished I wish that Symmetra has her own mini photon barrier back. That shit is so powerful against Widowmaker. Not to mention Farah. But yeah, the recent change to Sim is very good. But still, she is a short range hero. So yeah, any kind of sniper or long distance range hero hit scan is very bad for her. But then again, I've never played much Overwatch. Basically, I stopped playing in, oh god, 2019, late 2018, 2019, something like that. It's been a while since I replayed Overwatch, and that is only because I want to play the Halloween event. I remember the last event that I've played is the Black Watch. Yeah, the Black Watch one. I used to play a lot of the Black Watch event. Oh wait, I don't want to do this. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, that's not very good, but we can still use it to sell. Okay, that is very good. Ooh, electric whip. 200 100% damage inflict on enemies. Uh yeah, I like the electric whip, but taking it might not be the best one. You know what? I'm gonna take this and then take this and store it in this. Sell that. Okay, that's good. That is good. Nice. The reason why I like the electric whip is because ooh, because of that. The fast DPS. Hey, where am I? I should go up. Okay. I love the wolf trap. Okay, let's get that. You know what? Yeah, let's go to the corrupted prison. By the way, Kat, how long have you been streaming? Oh no. Whatever. For me, it's only been like less than a year now. I started around mid-May? I don't know. I don't remember much. Okay. Let's ooh, we got 42 cells. We can complete vampirism. And then let's should put it in the light speed, huh? Oh, okay, okay. I see how it is. corrupted prison. Anything, don't touch anything. Reach the corrupted prison for the first time. Yo, it's the first time I've reached here. I'm not touching. Sorry. Oh god. Oh no. Oopsie. Oopsie. I got too careless. Okay, okay. Let's take the crown key. Oh no, the king's scepter. Oof, okay, sure. Not sure if this is the right weapon for us. Okay, okay. Another. Ooh, corrupted artifact. This object is worth 10,000 coins, but if you pick it up, you'll be cursed. Uh-oh, eliminate 20 enemies to lift the curse. Whoa! Okay, even with the shield, I still die? Yeah. The cursed artifact is very cursed indeed. But that's okay, that's okay. We are still learning about this game, right? Assassin's Dagger, yes! Nice. Ooh, cheese! I love some cheese, Gromit. You guys remember Wallace and Gromit? I used to... Oh, a crowbar. 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 402. Much, much stronger than the Assassin Dagger, huh? You know what? I'm gonna take it. Gonna take it and then save this. And then get the chest. Oh no, I hate the Star Furry. Okay, we still didn't have enough for the card, which is a shame. Okay, let's get this. Hey, come on. No. You know what? This run is already botched. Should I reset? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should reset. Hey, come on. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna restart. Oopsie. Who, me? Oh my god, it's already been 2 hours. Oh god. Okay. I've been so excited. Ooh, Blood Sword, yes. Frost Blast! I've been so excited talking to people that I didn't do much in this stream. Yes. Now that I have Frost Blast, these people don't stand a chance with my might. Oh, no, no thank you. Okay, let's get this because it increased. Okay, this is bad. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be down there. I'm here. Not there. I don't have enough coins to buy anything. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, where should I go? You know what? You know what? I have an inkling that I should be going here. Nope. What is wrong with me? Tell me what is wrong with me. Apparently, dead cells. My brain is the only cells that are dead. Am I right? Oh my god. A bone? Hitting with the second attack enables a whirlwind attack. Okay, I remember this being kinda good. So I'm gonna take that. We keep the blood sword for now. Might be a little bit slower, but should be fine. Oh my god, why do I get hit all the time? What is wrong with me? We didn't get any bonuses for this run. Oh no. But whatever. I think due to the oh god, the ice blast, we might have a chance. Let's get this. Uh, YOLO. Should I take YOLO? But no mercy though. No mercy might be good. I'm gonna choose no mercy. Why not? Okay, whatever. Okay, let's do this. I don't even need to go downstairs, right? Uh-oh. Nice. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. The egg, I'm not sure. I do remember that the egg allows you to move quicker. Okay, so far so good. I love the Frost Blast function ability in this game. It allows you to do so much. Then again, remember, I have such slow reaction time in games. I wish I'm not that slow, but sometimes you have to make do. Ooh, pastry. Whoops. Oh, okay. The sinew slicer is good. Oh no! I'm such an idiot. No, I lost. I lost the kill trick. Now I won't get any bonus. No. We were doing so good. You know what? Fine, whatever. I'm gonna die. Ooh. Okay, the machete and pistols is very good too. Okay, let's get this. Let's get this. Sell this. Okay, let's get this. Nice. Okay, how are we still cursed? There's no more enemies for me to kill. Is it? I know we can find one. Down here might be. Oh, kill with an elevator. That's that's an achievement that I've never gotten. Nice. Curse is lifted. Ooh, look at that damage. Nice. Come on. I I don't remember which type of room is this. I should be remembering one, but Tom's place, prisoner and doctor of mushroomology. Hello? Abandoned ages ago. Oh, actually, a family of rats seems to call the place home these days. Hey, ooh. All kinds of mushrooms have been carefully grounded into fine multicolored powders. Pretty sure they weren't using this to flavor the soup. Okay. Test. Seems to be where the mushroomologist stash profits from his little business. Ooh. Eh. Oh god. Recycle this. Recycle this. Good old Dr. Tom here must have been supplying the whole prison. Well, Dr. Tom. Where am I supposed to go? Prison depth? Did I? Why not? Okay, light speed. We are almost done with light speed. S tier. S tier seems good. Wait, where's... Oh, okay. That is not a mutation, it's an ability. Okay, let's get the combo one? Yeah, let's get the combo one. Hello, Vigor. You're back, but I think the rest are not here. But welcome back. Oh no, another cursed treasure. You know what? No, I'm gonna ignore it for now. Wait. Nope, I can't go back. You're still here? Well, thank you for staying here then. Did you manage to record your session? Ooh. Nice. Oh no! My perfect score! You did record your Pantheon 5 attempt. You got past no ice but died from Traitor Lord because you got nervous and your heart was freezing. Ooh! That is not good. Ooh, yeah. You got past no ice. At least you got past no ice, right? But Traitor Lord is, yeah. It might be nerve-wracking, right? You got at least got past your score. That's progress. You're right, you're right. That's something, right? Progress is progress, no matter how small it is. Okay, Sinew Slicer 5. Should I get one? We have one in the second generation. 51 DPS. You know what? I'm gonna wait for a bit. Nope. Okay, you know what? These things are annoying. I'm gonna teleport away. Trizzle. I. Oh my god. War Spear. Oof. Trizzle Lord is easy, but you were just nervous. Yeah, yeah. I understand. That's my whole entire playthrough of this game, at least on stream, because yeah, when you are streaming in front of people, sometimes the nerve got the better of you. And for you, Vigor, I know how sometimes you get nervous for no reason at all, even though you've already defeat Rita Lord multiple times. But sometimes the nerves got the better of us. And what can we do? Okay, where am I going? Should be to the left, down here, and then go up. La baguette! Ha ha ha! I'm sorry, French people, for the impersonation there. Uh-oh. Man, do you know how hard it is to make a baguette? It's hard. I don't know how people can even manage to do it in a bakery. I mean, if you've done it multiple times in a day, oh no! Then you're going to master it, right? Ah, come on. This dude is more annoying. You got nervous because you were recording and you were like, oh no, oh my, I got past no eyes. Okay, okay, traitor lord. And then your heart starts racing. Yeah, yeah. Especially when you are recording, right? And recording because you want to show it to someone. I know that feeling so much. But it's okay, it's okay. I'm sure once you get used to that feeling, you will do much better, I guess. Or think of it like this. You're not recording, but you just focus on you playing the game as best as you can. Someone is lighting incense, and I hate it. Makes the enemy invisible. Invincible. Invisible. You need to stop. There, is it so hard? Hey, come on. Iron Cell's key. Prison depth, huh? Ooh, okay, wait. We have something good here. Let's use this. Oh, come on, Frost Blast 3. Well, it still is a major upgrade from the one, so let's get it. You you were watching your video and it doesn't lag and it's not blurry, but it has no sound. Were you recording using any recording software, or are you using Windows built-in recording feature? Using, I think it's Xbox, right, for Windows? If you are using OBS, you can set up a desktop audio or a specific audio capture for the game. It's okay with no sound. It's not a big deal. You won't upload it anywhere. You will just show it to a couple of people. I see, I see. An ossuary. Um, you know what? Yeah, sure, let's go. You didn't use OBS. OBS makes the video way too blurry or way too laggy. Oh. Okay, yep. I understand. OBS is certainly sometimes OBS can be a resource hog and you need to fiddle with it in order to make it work. I understand the pain. Oh man, I understand the pain. Okay, light speed, we can get it. And should I? Assault shield. This is the one that Cat told me about. Blocks attack while charging forward. But you know what? I like the melee one. Slows down enemies for 0.26 second. Heart of Ice. Ooh. Okay. The melee one. I don't know. So many things that I want to do. So little cells. You know what? I should put it into recycling. Why not? Whoa. Okay. I almost make the mistakes of recycling the stuff. Okay, let's do this. Oh. Oh, okay. That's how it works. Okay, let's get should I get Frenzy? Melee attack restores a small amount of HP depending on attack damage as long as you have an active speed buff. Eh, sure. Not going to be the best, but should be fine. Oh no, no. I'm not going to the bank. Sorry. By the way, Vigor, have you played any more of Hades? I've um I think it was yesterday. No, not yesterday. The 3 days ago. I did play one more round of Hades in my original save file with God God mode. Somehow I managed to get my fastest fastest run yet. I think it was 13 minutes. And believe it or not, I didn't use Athena's dash. I used Poseidon's dash, which somehow makes the game much more quicker. What did I ask? Have you played Hades before? Have you played any more Hades this week? I've played it 3 days ago, and I've managed to win with 13 minutes until Hades, the final boss. And I use Poseidon's dash, tidal dash. You played Hades? Yeah. I didn't know that Poseidon's had a very good DPS attached to it. Now I'm kind of converted. I might choose Poseidon's dash on top over Athena's dash. Nothing special though. You try to get diamonds for Erebus portal. Ah, I see. Still, you still need a lot of diamonds, huh, in order to unlock it. Oof. This little. Nice. Oh, I almost got hit there. You got Poseidon dash, then get a divine strike to have a bit of a deflect. Uh-huh. The last time I played that game, it is I equipped the Limbon Plume keepsake from Hermes because there is a specific list of minor prophecy that I need to complete, which is get the rush delivery boon from Hermes. And from what I see from the codex, you need the Limbon Plume. And the rush delivery is very good too. Divine Strike also makes the circle witches in Asphodel way too easy, right? Man, I really hate the circle witches. Without Athena's help, so much harder. What? How did that hit me? Come on. Your favorite Asphodel mini bosses is the boat. The boat? Uh, uh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Why did I think of the Dirge of Cerberus? It's not. That is a Final Fantasy game. Uh, oh gosh. The Barge of Death. Yes. The Barge of Death. Why did I think of Dirge of Cerberus? Oh god. Yeah, the Barge of Death. It's a moving piece of an island and regular enemies spawn. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, let's get this one. In in that moving island, yeah, that is the easiest room in Asphodel. Mostly because you didn't get the chance to go into the lava. It is a well-contained island with guardrails all over the island. Man, I can't wait for Hades 2 to come out. Hey, come on. I read recently that we had fishing in. Oh god, okay. We had fishing minigame in Hades, right? What if in Hades 2 we got gardening minigame? Because Melano is definitely making potions, right? What is this? What? Soldiers leaving little notes for each other? The bodies are piling up endlessly. Burning them is no longer good enough. Some get back up, and others even manage to get their hands on weapons. We have to leave this island while we still can. Okay. Curse Island, I see. Also, when you see that you fight Lernis Greenhead while having his extreme measures on, you just accept fate. Wait, the Greenhead is the one that spouts. Uh, is it the one that summons enemy, or is it the one that um bang their head on the ground? I forgot. I always got confused between the blue one and the green one. The one that bangs its head is the blue one. Okay, so it is the one that summons. Oh, okay. Yellow health bar bone wreckers. Yep, yep. Okay. Now I remember. The first time you got to the credits in Hades, I thought there would be gardening minigame. Right? Man, a gardening minigame would be so great. When I first got to the secret, not secret ending, but to the credit sequence in Hades, I was so sad that we didn't get to see any more of Persephone's garden. I was totally bummed out. You thought the game would just end. Little that you know that there's a lot more content in that game. You need to stop, sir. Oh, there's a scroll down there. Okay. Whoop! Okay, nice. Also, your friend managed to make his own Hades mod. Nice, nice. What did he add? Also, yeah, I did look into the Hades modding community, and there's a lot of mods. So much so that there's a mod that adds a god. I Apparently, there is a god that gets creep in the game. Apollo, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm glad that it got added in Hades too. You can only code a simple website. Yo, Santa, that is that is cool too. I can even code. And I live at the peak of MySpace. You know, MySpace used to have those, I think it was HTML, right? Where you can um, customize your MySpace page with basically anything. You can put musics, you can change the color and the interaction of the mouse. HTML, yeah. That's that's cool. You can still apply. I'm always surprised that you can code a website. I even though I know a little bit of HTML, but I cannot do it from scratch. The fact that you are able to do it, that is that is something, Santa. So be proud of that. Whoa! Oh God. Okay. Come on. I hate the spiky dude so much. Uh, when going from scratch, you start with HTML, so I can do it too. Ugh, it's not that I yeah, a little bit complicated. It's a language of its own, and my brain sometimes have troubling focusing on languages. Uh, so yeah, maybe if I took my time and focus line by line, I might be able to do something. Yeah, maybe never say never, huh? I should never say never and maybe try coding a little bit in the future. Okay, Vigor. So he added a pack of punishment called Hell of Hades. You know, even the name is scary. And what it does is that when you turn it on, each boss that you fight will have the assistance of the previous boss. Oh no. Oh no. Lerny has the Fury Sisters. One of them and it's random. Theseus have different Fury Sisters and Lerny. So basically he's making the game so much difficult by making the boss summon the previous level boss. Yo, your friend must really like challenges, huh? Yeah, that is crazy hard. I agree with you, Santa. How did he manage to defeat the game? Oh, um, Why is it not paused in this area? Which, you know what? No. A cursed treasure? Yo, I shouldn't be here actually. I should be down here. He loses from Lerny. Oh no. In his pack of punishment, your friend has won the vanilla game. Okay. And what is his highest pack of punishment he ever completed? I know I got stuck at heat 20 something, less than heat 25. Sure, sure. Okay, you need to stop. Okay, thank goodness for a sinew slicer. Whoop! Whoa! Am I even going the right way? I am. Okay, let's... I am wasting my time. Nope. You're not hurting me. Nice. Oh! I was too late. Okay. Button sandal? Um... Knocks back enemy dealing damage where they land. 161 damage. A sandal. I'm I'm just gonna keep it in my backpack. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it. Ooh, sinew slicer. Sinew slicer level 2. Level 3. Okay. Oh, you. Drink up. Oh god. Okay, nice, nice. Oh god, okay. Survival, I guess. So he tries to do extreme measures 3, hard level 4, lasting consequences 1, middle management, routine inspection, and damage control. You just finished grinding 500k worth of steel plate bodies. Yes. Yes, Santa. Glad your grind is doing well. Congratulations. So, Vigor, your friend, huh? I'm quite surprised he didn't do the faster enemy instead of the lasting consequences one. Because the lasting consequences one reduce the amount of healing you got from items. If not for hell mode in Hades, I don't think I would choose the lasting consequences one. He says the faster enemies is way too easy. Well, that yeah, you know what? Some people likes a challenge, so props to him then. Good for him. I but yeah, lesson consequences is something that I tend to avoid, but yeah, if it makes the game much more challenging, a good challenging game is much more worth it, right? I understand that feeling. He should try extreme measures 4 if you if he wants to be challenged by Hades, that is. Because I know Hades can be such a pain in the butt. Can you imagine faster enemy and then using extreme measures 4? Woo! I would die so many times in that setup. You told him to do that and he said, whoa, 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 I know I'm good at the game, but not that good. Yeah, but the thing is, I know most people don't like Extreme Measures 4, but I like Extreme Measures 4. I don't know. Maybe I'm like your friend then, that likes a little bit of a challenge. What is this? Reployable trap tactics. Shoot enemies who pass beneath it, dealing critical damage to poison enemies. Oh, poison. E. Also, now you play Hades a lot with no punishment, like none at all. Oh, zero hit. Okay. Are you farming something or are you just want to get to the gods dialogue option? Oh man, it's already okay. It's almost 11 where I am from. You wish extreme measures 4 was basically needed to reach credit. Somehow feels like something is missing from the game otherwise. I know what's missing, Santa. There's no gardening mini game. Come on, Super Giant game. Give me gardening. Persephone Garden is too good. It's too good. It's a shame there's no gardening game in that a gardening mini game in that game. That we got fishing mini game. Also, you want to find Eurydice to give her nectar so you can make Orpheus and Eurydice to be together again. Ooh, yeah. Eurydice can be a little bit hard to find. Yeah, we demand gardening. I really hope that in Hades 2 we got gardening. Man, I really wish there's gardening because Melino is living in the surface. He lives in the surface and had to go into hell. So I'm guessing if you die, you got sent back to the surface. I don't know. I don't know. I just wish that there's gardening aspect in that game. Okay, time to fight the boss. Concierge. Whoop. Oh no. Hey, come on, man. Come on. What? Okay, I should heal myself. Oh no. Okay. Whew. What? What did I just pick? Ammo. So many. Balance plate, balance plate. Is it good? Is it good? Ah, no, no, no. I'm just gonna recycle it. Same goes with this. Also, I didn't realize just how much health we have. What? 3,000. Okay. Should I go to the slumbering sanctuary or Tilt village or fractured shrine? I don't want to go to fractured shrine actually. I remember what's that like. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go with slumbering sanctuary because I is this the one that I can use the crown key? Nope, that's not the right place. Hey, oh, this is the place where you see that locked door. Okay, you see this statue. After a certain time, not certain time, after a certain effect, they will be reanimated. And it's annoying AF. Okay, okay. Let's figure things out here. Uh, oof. I went the wrong way. Cursed treasure. Is it worth it to get a cursed treasure now? I don't think a cursed treasure is ever useful except for the early level, but you do you, I guess. Stop with the incense. Is it even called an incense? I just said that. Okay, this is the one that will activate my doom. Wish me luck. Okay. Okay. But oh god, the enemy design is so cool. I love the lanky enemy. Hey. Oh god. I'm sorry I have to cheese. Whoa! He hits hard. Okay, am I even going the right way? Okay, I am. Okay, we have tonic 4 plus wolf trap. Woo! How dare you, sir? Nice. Oh god. I have to heal. Uh-oh. Our healing juice is almost running out. Ooh, secret zone. Masochist. Come on. I keep forgetting that this place does that. Huh, it's been a while since we had an elite. Hello? He fell to his death. Sapphire Amulet. Damage from projectile reduced by 75%. Okay. This is good. Okay, our health is a little bit low. Not gonna lie. Oh god. Okay. Oh god. You need to stop, sir. I am dying. I am dying. Well, huh. Okay. Um, I think I think that's gonna be it for me for today. Man, I had a lot of fun today. So many people I can talk to. Thank you to Vigor. Thank you to Santa for being here. And thank you to Caticu uh okay, thank you Sir Hal oh god, okay, Sir Haldamir. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun talking with all of you. I really do. So much fun. So much so that I got distracted from playing the game. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'm gonna continue on with Hades on Sunday morning, Sunday evening where I am from. Um yeah, I hope that um we make some quick run in Hades and we'll see how it goes from there. But for now, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you for watching. And if you are watching this on my YouTube stream archive channel, thank you to you too. And leave a comment down below if you have any sort of game recommendation that you would like me to play. I know I received a lot of game recommendation today. Thank you, Kat. So for now, I am signing off for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye.